All right. Good to see you guys. I haven't seen some of your faces. Good to have you on the call tonight. I am Dee Corchin, and we've got our Monday night team time. I wanted to let you know, I did let the executive directors who were on the leadership call today know that Meg will not be with us tonight. Her grandmother passed away over the weekend, so she is either in Texas or en route to Texas. So if you could just send her your prayers, maybe a nice note or something. I'm sure she would appreciate it from our team. So, you guys good? How was Thanksgiving? Good? Ready to rock and roll? All right. Well, it is December. So, before we kind of jump into our topic for tonight, we've got to do a little celebration of what happened in November. So, bear with me for just a second. Share my screen. Hmm. All right. Can y'all see my screen? Somebody give me a thumbs.
Yep.
Oh, yep. All right. Awesome. Okay. Well, some good stuff happened in the November. So I had to pick a festive theme for us since we're heading into the holidays. So um, we had three coach accounts that were 10,000 more in frontline volume. So that is helping new and existing clients, $10,000 more in volume. Congratulations to Frank and Shauna Davis. I was also there, and to Kelly McCulloch. So well done. Congratulations. Um, we had more people earn the Client Support Plus bonus this month, and some new names on here. So congrats to Julie Tracy. She actually had three new clients, and then Linda Young, Georgie Marta, Frank and Shauna, Julie Apple, and Lori Pulver, all coming in with two new clients each in the month of November. So in this environment, that's so awesome. And you guys get to get that 3% bonus in your bonus paycheck this month. And Kelly McCulloch had six new clients. So congratulations, Kelly. She earned the 5% bonus. So we can all earn this. Clock starts over every Monday. Every Monday, the first day of every month. So the clock has started. It's wide open for you. You can earn this bonus. You can also this month also earn the Optivist friendship bracelets. That's still a gift for this month. We had more people reach the rank of executive director or higher this month. This is in no particular order. Congratulations to Kelly, to myself, Julie Apple Walker, to Lori Cole, Meg Johnson, Shauna and Frank, Lauren Yeomans, Adele Legreed, and to Gina Manley. So well done, you guys. We had 25 new clients that said yes to their health in the month of November. So they are all in our client group. If we can be encouraging in there, that will be fantastic. And just wanted you guys to know like how grateful we are for you guys and everything you do. Every single one of us makes a difference. So glad. So I'm going to pop in the chat. I wanted to have a picture of it, but I didn't have it yet, but I will put it in the coach group. So I want you to register every single person who's on and who's on with their camera on. You're going to want to register and that you were here on this Google form. We're not going to do a prize each week for attendance. What we're going to do is a bigger prize, and I have ordered it. And what it is, you may have seen like Kristen Glass and her team wear it. It's a gold necklace that says Optivist in script for it. It's really pretty. So every time you attend one of our meetings in the month of December live, your name will go in for the drawing. So also, if you have a new client, your name will go in for every new client as well. So little added bonus and incentive to get out there and share this month. So good job, everyone. Couple of things that we are working on and decided for kind of finishing up this year, starting next year. So with the watch party, we've been doing the Optimal Health Community Call watch party right after this. We've been piloting that, trying to see if it helps to engage our clients, to bring them in more. And what we've seen is that it can be a little disruptive for clients to come into our watch party, kind of coming in on the tail end of our meeting. Sometimes we're not quite finished yet. And then if there's any kind of technology problem, it's not as conducive for them. It's choppy and we lose them. And also there's not the ability to comment in the chat and actually be an active participant. So what we've decided is we will do the watch party tonight. If any clients you've invited, they'll be welcome. But after tonight, we will continue the watch party for us. So we will stop the recording of this call and then roll over and do it. I think it's a great tool for each of us to be informed of what's being on those calls. And then you will invite your clients to join in through Zoom the normal way. So does that make sense to everyone? Good. And then the other thing is that we are going to offer a word of the year workshop again this year with Susan Brown. We have done that virtually as a group. And then last year we did it as an in-person event in Atlanta, and I got a lot of feedback that people missed it. So we're going to bring it back in early January, most likely on a Tuesday night. I'm working on a date with her. There will be a small fee for that, but this year it's the word of the year with a focus on intentionality. And she's also going to have like an implementation roadmap strategy. So it can be a very, very valuable tool if you come up with that word of the year. And she does it really, it's about an hour and a half workshop because she goes pretty deep into kind of searching into where you are right now. And it's not something you just like grabbing it out of a hat. It's going to be very, very specific to you. So hopefully I'll get that information out to you soon. I hope that you will participate. We can all start the new year together well. And then I feel like there's so much stuff. My mouth is going to get dry. Ascend products. So our new product line for GLP-1, and we covered it last week. This is the program that will be used for the products that will be used for transition. So transition for every client, whether they're coming off the 5-in-1, the 4-in-2, the 5-in-1 active, or one of the GLP-1 programs will be using the new and updated transition plan and also optimization. So on this Thursday night, December 5th, the same day the products are released for coaches, corporate is going to do a training event that night at 8 p.m. So we'll make sure that is, you've got that information. Actually, if you got your e-newsletter today from Optavia, it is in there, but you'll want to attend that. They'll also have info on the training modules for you to take so that you fully understand the programs, but it's exciting. It's exciting stuff that's coming out. And I'm going to be posting in our coach group the updated product claim sheet that shows which of the items are gluten-free and also which of the items are soy-free, because I know that's something that's been of a lot of interest. And there was a question today whether or not the Optimal Health line will continue. And that is going to be discontinued on December 31st. Is the latest information we have on that. So if you have any clients that are enjoying those products, you'll want to let them know so that they can convert over to the new Ascend. There's been a lot with that. We covered a lot last week. Does anybody have any questions or comments around the Ascend line? Beth.
Did you happen to find out if that call Thursday is going to be recorded yet?
I've not heard.
Okay.
On that. I put the question in about that call being recorded and whether or not that one bar, we weren't sure on the definition of soy-free. I haven't gotten a response yet on that. I'm hoping it's recorded. I think whatever the last call was, I think we thought it wasn't going to be recorded, but then it was, but I'm hopeful it will be. The best offer of the year, you guys. So this is the really up to $205 savings, but $190 off the 5-in-1. That continues through December 15th. So corporate did it this way so that we could help our sales for November, but also help, more people in the month of December. And this is my 13th or 14th holiday season. And I think the statistics are still true that people are making their decision. I think they say it's around the 16th of the month that people are making their decision what they're going to do in the new year. How everybody says, come January, I'm going to do XYZ. So keeping in mind, we've got so many different things that we can help people with. Now is the time to be visible out there. And then that's what we're going to talk about primarily tonight, is that. But just always keep that in mind. It's a great incentive. Somebody could order even as of the 15th and get started in January if they didn't want to, start before the holiday season was over. So you could just, market it such as, hey, we've got to get orders in by the 15th so that it comes in time and you have everything you need to go on January 1st or 2nd. So was thinking about the holiday season, and there's, this is a pivotal month for us. It's a busy month, right? It's a busy month for us as individuals, as moms, as dads, as wives, as humans, right? We're getting ready for the holiday season. We've all got our own things to do, but it's also a pivotal time. So it's going to be real important that we as coaches have a plan. Strategize. How are we going to take care of ourselves? How are we going to budget our time for our business? Because the great thing about this business is how flexible it is. The bad thing is about how flexible it is because it can be easy to not do things or think I'll get to it tomorrow or whatever and get caught up in our day to day. And it's flexible, but it's not optional. And there's a direct correlation to what we're doing if we're intentional with our work and what your paycheck is going to be and how you are able to impact others. So I had shared with the group today, and I think that if the energy we bring to this and the mindset is going to be critical. We talk about that all the time because as Dan Bell has taught us over the years, 90 to 95% of this business is mindset and motivation. The how-to is easy when we're clear on what it is that we want. So thinking in terms of abundance, thinking of in terms of the amount of impact and influence you can have in the world is so important because it can be easy and sometimes unconsciously to get into the mindset of, I don't have time for this. My clients aren't into it. Nobody's interested. Everybody's doing the drugs, right? We can tell ourselves stories, and whatever it is that we are thinking, whatever you think about is what you're going to bring about. So I would, kind of do a self-check every morning. Where am I? Right? What can you be gratitude for? And I had shared with the team this morning, I was talking to my son, Alex. He's 31. Smartest kid I know. Maybe he's mine, so I'm a bit biased, but smartest, hardest working person I know. He has worked since he was 15 for Chick-fil-A and went in there knowing I want to do this. I want to, whatever. And by golly, he did it in terms of working up, going through their leadership program, etc. But think about it. He's at Chick-fil-A. It's a fast food restaurant. Right? It's a fast food restaurant. And what are they known for? They're known for their service, right? They're known for, I heard Dan Cathy speak one time. He's like, we sell, we buy chicken by the pound, we sell it by the piece. The only thing that makes us different is it's the service and what we bring to it. But Alex was saying, a lot of, and he's actually changed companies now. He's actually with a really cool coffee company, but he's doing a lot of hiring. And he said that, you're bringing people in and sometimes they might look at this and be like, oh, I don't know if I really want to do this. Is it, whatever, might not be my lifelong thing. But what he said, it really resonated with me. And I shared it with the group earlier. He said what he tells everybody, because this was the mindset that he adopted when he started working there, was if you treat this opportunity that you've been given, right? So we've been given this opportunity with Optavia. We're blessed with it. If you treat this opportunity that's been given to you as if you were the CEO of a corporation like Google, if you were CEO of Google and you really thought about the significance of that role, the importance of that role, the responsibility of that role, and what could happen in terms of the amount of impact and influence you could have by your mindset, your actions, the way that you showed up in the world. And he said, if you think about that and approach it as if you were the CEO of Google, he said, you have no option except to be successful. And it just resonated with me because I know that I always try to keep things really transparent with you. I know where my head can go. I know where the negativity can slip in. I can know sometimes not really owning and actually grasping what is possible with this. And the fact that there are people, right? We had 25 people in the month of November, right? When the holidays are approaching, that said yes to their health. We've had reactivated clients, like they are out there. So, so a little self-check on that in terms of where you are. I would highly encourage you to stay in touch with your coach during this season on your own mindset, on your personal health, and your plans for the year, for the rest of the year and into January. And I saw a meme today, and I thought this was real important because I don't know if we're all doing it. It said, make sure that you honor yourself with an hour of self-care per day. An hour of self-care per day. Now, self-care, because it said we have 24 hours in a day. That's 1/24th of the day. So your self-care can be prioritizing your personal development or your spiritual time. It can be focusing on your personal health, exercising, meditating, doing some yoga, whatever. But I'd just be curious with a show of hands, because I saw somebody look up at me like with a look of surprise. Who provides for themselves an hour of self-care a day? Maybe raise your hand or your virtual hand. Some, not all. What gets in the way if you don't?
Travel.
Travel. Yeah. What's the impact if we don't? Yes, Frank, I am mastering sleeping in. It is something I have granted myself permission to do. I am sleeping in more, still getting my reading done, still getting my workouts done, but focusing on that sleep. So yes, it does, Frank.
Do you ask what gets in the way of
Mhm.
not doing it? Me.
Mm.
And not prioritizing. I really do, because I count my exercise as self-care. But whatever it is, if it doesn't happen, it starts the thought loop. It's no different than when I was overweight and I was in that thought loop over and over. If I don't take care of myself, that starts to creep in again.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. So that would be, as we're heading into the holiday season, this month, it's a busy month, but I really would encourage you to prioritize yourself, prioritize your self-care, prioritize your personal health. I think all of that is just going to help you, one, show up better for yourself, show up better for your family, show up better for the world, right? And we know when, like we were talking about it earlier on the team call, whatever we're doing, like your world around and especially your business is going to mirror where you are. So if you're having a hard time with your health, if you're having a hard time staying connected, plugging into things, we can't be surprised when it's reflected with our clients, et cetera, as well. So I would prioritize that. And then I would really encourage you guys to actually set a work schedule for this month. It's real easy to sit down and think we're working, right? And we get caught up in scrolling or whatever, and it can feel like you're potentially working all the time. So I would set up a work schedule of like Monday through Friday or whatever you want your schedule to be, and kind of break it down. Like, when are you going to do your posts? When are you going to do your client calls or your client check-ins? When are you going to do any networking out, anything like that you're doing? When are you going to be, initiating conversations with people? When will you be working on making new connections with individuals? Because all of that is going to make a difference. But very often, if we can consolidate it and say, you know what, every day from 11 to 12, I'm going to get my Facebook post done. I'm going to start a few conversations and I'm going to make a new connection. Like, if you can do that, it's manageable Then go shopping, do whatever you need to do at noon, right? Go for your walk, your self-care. But if we just sit down, we don't really have a strategy, we're just going to end up in that loop, and we're going to feel like we're working. We're going to feel like we're not getting a return, but it's because it's not intentional. And I think being intentional is going to be the name of the game this season. I don't know if anybody has any tips or strategies or anything that they would like to share around that.
That's what I was going to mention before when you said if we don't prioritize ourselves, what gets in the way. And you were talking about being intentional. And I think my answer to myself was I lose track of time. I'm doing something else and I lose track of time, and I'm not intentional enough with that time frame. I'm not paying enough attention to what's going on to I'm doing this other thing that needs to be done, but then I spend too much time on that thing. And then I'm not taking care of the other thing that I had planned.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we are right, we're the CEO of Google, hashtag your business. And so, would the CEO of Google just walk in randomly and not know what her or his day look like? Right. Having a plan. And a lot of us I know are navigating other jobs and everything. So, more than ever, it's important because you've chosen to do this. It's important to you, but we don't want it to be where it's a burden and stress. And, like if we can do it in a really intentional way, that's the word of the day. I think that it's going to be a lot more enjoyable. And that's what I want for you as we're going through this. I heard Dr. A say it's also coaching our current clients really well. And Dr. A said, we used to do a client call or whatever, and once a week, whatever. He said, I think we're almost in a season we need to overcoach our clients, like really be there for them, even if it's just sending an upbeat, if you saw a meme or something that you thought, or something inspirational, texting them, like whatever. They may not accept your call every week. They may not schedule a call, whatever that is, but whatever we can do to show up and be there for them and just remind them without judgment, with empathy, and just encourage them. I think, the world, it's hard right now. And especially anybody who's trying to be on a health journey, we know it from our personal experience. So just taking care of your coaches and your clients really, really well during this season. One thing I wanted to share, I just came across it in my memories, and I think I'm going to do it again, but we always want to be thinking of if you're going to use social media, be visible out there. And sometimes we can wonder, like, what am I going to post? What am I going to do? And you can do something like the 12 days of Christmas or something. You could, do it any 12 days of the month, or do like a health and healthy holidays series, health and hope series, or whatever. But what I've done with that before is just every day, like, health and hope, day one, day two, etc. And then do inspirational things, healthy recipes, tips for navigating holiday parties, tips for getting your water in, or why is water important for us, top 3 reasons to do blank, but whatever. But sometimes just being visible every day. And if somebody sees that post, it's like, oh, that's Lucy's 12-day series. What's she working on today, or what's she sharing with us today? So I just wanted to share that because I saw it in my memories. It's something I do typically every single year. So it could be something fun if you were looking for something different. But I think the key is providing value and being a resource for people. So, because again, we want people to realize we're not just like lose weight now, ask me how, here's a sale, whatever. Like, we are solution providers. And so really getting to that level of where people are, and then what we can do to serve and help. So it's good. I like that. And then more than ever, it's a season and time to be talking about referrals. I know some coaches offer like double referral rewards. All of this is up to you, but actively talking to your clients about referrals, having this special is a really great thing that you can combine it with. Like, hey, I just want to let you know, got this great, best offer of the year. If you've got friends and family that are talking about this, I just want you to know they can get an incredible savings. But if you refer to me, I always give $25 wellness credit as my thank you to you. Or I'm going to double it this month, whatever it is. But one thing can be easy to do is to slip out of asking for referrals. But it's honestly, if it's out of sight for you and your clients aren't thinking about it. So we have to remind them over and over. You can tell your friends and family, just do a post on it. Like, hey, I appreciate your referrals. If you've got somebody I could help, I'll give you a $5 Starbucks card if they're not a client. There's lots of things that we could do with that. And then my last tip, and I want to open it up if you guys have some tips, is I would say be in a season, of course, protect your self-care, but be in a season of yes. Saying yes to social events, saying yes to invitations so that you can get out and be around people. We really do need to get away from being in the computer and behind the computer and get out talking to people. And, again, our program is not party talk, but what do you do? Oh, I'm a health coach. I help people do XYZ. Keeping it out there and being visible is super, super important. So those were my best tips in terms of our action for the month, as well as our mindset for the month. And I'd love just to spend kind of this last 5 minutes with any interaction or questions around that, comments.
A challenge that I'm finding the last month and this month, is clients that I have that are seemingly doing pretty well. And then the holiday time is coming up and they're like, hey, I want to pause. I want to pause during this holiday time. And then and then I can just pick back up after the first of the year. What are some questions you guys are asking them other than why do you want to do that? You're already doing so well, or what are some questions you guys are asking those individuals in order to get them to start really thinking about what they're doing? I know a couple weeks ago, Dee, you had given the recommendation of, let's look at how many days you're actually going to be doing something other than, preparing, prioritizing your health. Maybe you're at a party or you're at whatever, but what are some other things that we can ask about to kind of narrow it down to help them to see the big picture? You got 3 full weeks before Christmas that you could be working on this, but go ahead. What are
I
some
have
questions?
a thought. So I just ask people, what is your plan? Because, again, I always remind them that, well, not always remind them, but I let people know I work for you, you don't work for me. And that's like the whole, like, if you're struggling, you come to me, like, don't hide, that kind of thing. But it's okay. So cool. What's your plan? A lot of people want to take adjust things during the holidays. So they don't feel like we're judging them, oh yeah, that's the thing. And then just say, okay, what are you planning? And then they can say, well, I don't know. Cause often they're like, I don't know. I just know that I've got to, and so then you can say, okay, well, my experience is that as people are doing things and going through this, they like to have some kind of structure and some kind of plan. Because if you don't go with anything, then obviously you don't have any idea what's going to happen. So why don't I help you formulate a plan? And then you can talk about, do you want to do, a 3 and 3 for a minute? Do you want to do, okay, I'm going to be on 5 and 1, except for when I go to these parties, like just kind of sit down and like support them and kind of, that's the whole meet them where they are kind of thing. But that way they know they're connected to you and that you're still there for them to support them,
That's good, Debbie. Some of the other questions, I love Gina has, tell me what pause means to you. So what we're trying to do is just open up the conversation. Meanwhile, they'll probably be like, well, I can't do the 5 and 1, or I just want to enjoy myself, but it can at least lead to that conversation. Frank's was good. What's hard for you? What's hard for you during the holidays that makes you want to pause? So what's the challenge that they want to work around? And I think the one thing we have to be especially careful of is that they're coming into it with a mindset, right? Like, I'm just going to tell her I'm not doing this anymore, right? Until January or whatever. So their wall is up. So I love that you're asking the question, what questions can I ask? Because it can be easy to try to talk them out of it and say, well, you've got 3 weeks, you could stay on. They've already made up their mind. They may come to their own conclusion and change it, but we can't tell them. So one of the questions I've really have come to love is I'll say, tell me how important it's going to be to you to keep off the weight that you've lost already. Because then I'll say, well, because it takes intentionality to maintain. Are you telling me that you're going to want to maintain during this season, or Or are you throwing all caution to the wind? And again, it's just to get that conversation going. But I think if we can remind them of how far they've come, like, you know, how important is it going to be to keep it off? They want to keep it off. So then talking about, you know, and then I go to, okay, well, what could you do? What could you, what healthy habits could you do? Can you still drink your water every day? Can you still eat every 2 to 3 hours? Would it make sense to use fuelings in between, you know, for convenience?
That's so good because that's what I do with my clients who go on trips, vacations, and cruises. And they go, "Well, I'm just giving you a heads up. I'm not going to be, you know." And so then that's what I do. I start exploring. Well, how do you want to come back? Do you want to, you know, you've got a few choices here. You can just be mindful, do a 3 and 3, be very careful what you eat and cautious, or it can be a free for all and you can come back and basically start over again. And that sometimes they don't look at it that way until you approach it with them that way. Almost always they're like, oh, wait a minute. No, I don't want to gain any weight. So
Yeah,
then you can formulate a plan.
exactly. Kind of like going into the, you know, what is your plan? Like, so, okay, I get it. It's gonna, yeah, I get it. If you've got a lot going on, sticking to 5 and 1, I think, you know, that acknowledgement, affirmation of where they are. And then, you know, well, we kind of have 2 choices. You're talking about like abandoning it, like throwing caution to the wind, or, you know, which is your goal to maintain? And then it at least opens the door. So great question, Kelly. Because again, remember, if we think about them, right, and getting in their shoes, where they're coming from, it's that systemic, old school diet mentality, right? So that's what they're thinking. I'm good, I'm bad. And, you know, we just want to walk them through that, through what does it look like that you're actually still working on creating some healthy habits, right? We're working on a lifestyle versus good, bad. Good. Is that helpful, Kelly? Yeah. Good. Good. All right. Well, it is 8:01, so we are going to wrap up this call, and then we will head into the client community call. So bear with me for just a second. Let me find.